them get back in touch with that. So I want people to understand you do not need to live with these emotions. If you don't like it, I want you to start thinking in terms of, I don't have to live like this. This does not have to be my life. And this does not need to define who I am.
Do you think that most people, I mean, they maybe perhaps spend too much time thinking of their feelings and emotions, so it's even a retraining of their thinking as well?
That sometimes becomes necessary, like catching your thoughts.
Yeah.
So what I share with my clients is once the emotion is under control, like not there, not white knuckling through it, not like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to let those words come out of my mouth. But, oh my goodness, I better take a break because this is right on the surface right now, which is how a lot of people get through it if they start to realize, I don't want to be spewing this out. Some people just don't even try to control it. Other people are a little bit more evolved and say, okay, I don't want to put this energy out into the world, but they're literally white knuckling through it. I help people so that it's just not there. You're not reacting.
Okay, so when they get offended, or they could get offended, you have that where they're so at peace they can just kind of let it go.
Wash right through you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to offend you. Now, it doesn't mean that what they're saying is correct or that you have to agree with it, or I'm not even telling you you have to like it. But what I am telling you is you don't have to react to it. Then you can use your mind if those crazy starts to, oh, how dare they say that to me? Even if it's under control, you can go, wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I putting this kind of thought into it? I'd much rather focus on something much more constructive.
Yes.
And then when you're not reacting, that's what you're able to do. You're able to actually think things through in a way that you don't have all this energy that's behind it that's making you say, okay, but I want to say it so badly because I don't like what they're saying to me, and how dare they say that? It doesn't even have to be that way. It can be, wow, bad day for them.
Yeah, keep it really realistic. And you know, a lot of times when I personally will have some issues going on, I'll think, okay, I think I'm going to set my timer over here, you know, one way or the other for about a 15-minute pocket, and I need to just shift. And then by the time you do that mental shift as well, you can almost laugh at yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you can take that step back, that's what you're able to do. And then you can see life from a different place. So what I call this is it's actually giving you freedom so that you're not slave to your thoughts and you're not slave to your emotions. I heard a long time ago that I don't ever want to give somebody else the power to have me react to what they're saying. I don't want to give anyone else that kind of power over me. I want to be able to be in such control of my life and so free from somebody else getting a reaction out of me, whether it's stinky thoughts or stinky reaction, you know, emotionally. I can stay in control of my life. And the minute I start to stay in control of that, and I don't mean like a control freak, but just I'm not giving you that ability to do this to me, then your life really starts to change. Then you can speak out on an issue, but it's not coming from this, how dare you place, but it's coming, you know?
Yes.
I respect how you feel. I respect even what you're saying. I don't have to agree with that. Would you be interested in my point of view? And you know, it's a choice then. If somebody doesn't want to hear it, you know what? My opinion is, I always tell people, is no more important than a cup of coffee. Because it's only my opinion. But if somebody really loves you and cherishes you, they want to know what you're thinking and feeling. So the minute you start to get out of an emotional upheaval and thoughts that go a million miles an hour down negative lane, then somebody else can't get you to be reacting, and then they are even more likely to hear you because you're not attacking them.
Exactly. And that's why we love Marshall's work as well, how words can get in the way, and if we're having something going on, sometimes it would really feel good to say something to one of those drivers out of there that
Yes.
whatever the issue is, but
Exactly.
you have to give people the benefit of the doubt and wish them well.
Yes.
There's no question about it.
I'll even give you, today I can share with you that this happened. So there's an intersection here close to the studio that there's no light. It's a five-way stop sign. So you have to do the rule of everyone take their turn, and most people don't seem to have an issue on that corner. I was in the passenger seat today of a woman who she was turning. She wasn't going straight, she was turning. And she got into the lane where somebody else was going to be turning, so we'd be going past each other like this. She didn't speed up. She knew that this guy that was going to be turning and going past her, it was his turn. But there was nothing wrong with her turning, and so that they could have very gracefully. Windows were rolled up, but he mouthed with so much energy behind it, "Why aren't you waiting your turn?" I'm sure if I didn't have a volume right now, you could read me saying this on air right now. Now, what's most people's reaction? "How dare that guy say that? Can you believe that? What a jerk, did it?" And we could have gone on 10 minutes going over what this guy did with all this energy that he's hurling at us, and we didn't even hear the volume. We could just see it in his face, his expression on his face, and the mouth was saying the words so easily that you couldn't miss it. I turned to my friend and I said, "Wow, God bless him. He must be having a bad day."
Perfect.
Because here's what you start to understand. If he's not getting a reaction out of me, I'm not having a bad day. He's obviously having a bad day. And I don't have to have his bad day be my bad day.
There you go. Exactly. I kind of have a joke, and thank you for sharing that. We use those metaphors, the giraffe with the big heart and the jackal with, kind of saying things that are a little suicidal. And I tend to all of a sudden see the image of the jackal. When things like that happen, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's somebody that could really use your help.
Yes. Or let's bring it closer to home. This is a total stranger. How about you've had a bad day at work for whatever reason, and then you get home and your spouse is upset about something, and your spouse just lays into you.
Oh, my.
What's your reaction? Because now this is closer to home. This is someone you're in a relationship with. This is someone you can't get in a closer relationship than with a spouse or partner. So you've had a bad day, they've had a bad day. They've just gone off on you. Now, what's most people's reaction to that?
Well, they're going to defend themselves. They're going to be righteous, and the other person's wrong, and it can just get explosive, and things can be said that people later on regret.
Exactly. So one of two reactions is typical. Either the explosion goes back, like you said with the self-righteous, "How dare you!" And then pretty soon they're off to the races with each other, or stonewalled, cold as ice. "You're going to say that to me? You don't deserve any love from me. How dare you?" is the expression when you don't engage. Now, I'm not saying there's not times when you don't want to engage, because we think of it more like a mosquito netting. I don't want mosquitoes to come into my room if I'm in Africa. So we put up a mosquito net so to keep the bugs out, but I can still breathe.
Yes.
That's how you want to be when you're around that energy. You don't have to react, but that doesn't mean putting up a wall, because a wall where it's mean-spirited is just as bad as anger going back. It's the same energy.
Yes.
So life becomes easier when you don't have these kinds of reactions. If a spouse is screaming at me or a partner, I can just very compassionately know, okay, I've had a bad day, but so have they. And I'm choosing not to let my bad day spill onto them, and I'm going to let this wash through me. Because why? Because it's in your own self-interest.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Just like forgiveness.
Just
exactly.
like forgiveness. You know, I've shared this with you before, Gigi. There's a movie called Bridge to Spy.